Welcome, dear friend. Find a quiet, comfortable space where you can fully relax. Settle into your chair or bed, letting your body sink into the support beneath you. Gently adjust your pillow so that you feel completely at ease. Take a deep, slow breath in, and as you exhale, release any tension you may be holding in your body. Now make yourself even more comfortable. Close your eyes if you haven't yet, and allow your breath to slow down, becoming softer with each inhale and exhale. Feel the weight of your body grounding you into the present moment. With each breath, you're becoming more deeply relaxed, more connected to yourself. You are here now, fully present in this moment. In this journey together, we are going to explore something truly transformative. The 7 signs that your karma has been cleared. Yes, when karma, the subtle thread that connects your actions, thoughts, and intentions from both this life and past ones, has been released, specific, peaceful yet profound signs will appear. These signs will guide you toward understanding this powerful spiritual transformation. Throughout this experience, you may gain insights that touch your heart and lead you to deeper peace. As we delve into these signs, I invite you to reflect on your own life and experiences. You may already recognize some of these signs in yourself, or perhaps they are waiting to be uncovered. Wherever you are on your path, know that each step we take together will bring you closer to understanding how karma shapes and clears our lives. You might be wondering, what does it mean for karma to be cleared? Simply put, karma is the energy created by your actions, thoughts, and intentions, both from this life and those before. It's the invisible thread that binds your past to your present. When karma is unresolved, it cycles and repeats, trapping us in patterns. But when karma is cleared, those patterns lose their grip on us, and we experience true freedom. This freedom doesn't always arrive with dramatic shifts. More often it comes quietly, like the soft ripple on a pond after a stone has been dropped into it. It may not be immediately obvious, but once you begin to recognize these signs, you'll know that transformation has already begun. So as we begin this journey, I encourage you to remain open to the possibility of change and growth. Let this be a journey of deep peace and inner transformation. Each sign we explore will serve as a guiding light, illuminating your path toward a lighter, freer life. Approach it with curiosity, with openness, and a willingness to engage. Now let's move forward together, beginning with the first sign. The first sign that your karma has been cleared might surprise you. It's the moment when silence becomes your companion. But what does this truly mean? Let's take a moment to understand the profound beauty and quiet power of this experience. Imagine for a moment a wanderer, a seeker of peace who has spent years in search of that elusive sense of calm. This wanderer has traveled far and wide, convinced that peace could be found outside of himself. He sought it in books, in heated debates, in bustling conversations, and in the company of others. He believed that peace was something to possess, something to chase, something to capture, as if it could be found somewhere beyond his own being. But despite all his efforts, the noise never seemed to cease. No matter how many books he read, how many debates he entered, or how many people he surrounded himself with, the noise, the endless chatter in his mind, and the world around him remained. It was a constant hum, relentless in its pull. The chaos never stopped. It felt like an endless tide pushing and pulling without pause. One day, after years of this exhausting search, the wanderer finds himself in a quiet, serene place, far from the distractions of the world. The air is still. The world around him is silent. There's no rush, no sounds, no activity, just stillness. At first, this silence feels like a vacuum, something to fear something that demands to be filled. His mind, conditioned to fill every moment with noise, feels uneasy. He doesn't know what to do with this quiet space. His thoughts race, unsure how to exist in this stillness. It feels too vast, too empty, almost as if the silence is swallowing him whole. But as time passes, something begins to shift within him. His breath, once shallow and fast, slows. It becomes deeper, more relaxed. With each exhale, his body softens. The unease he once felt begins to melt away. The silence, once oppressive, begins to transform. It no longer feels empty. It no longer feels like a void that must be filled. Instead, it feels full of presence, full of peace. And in that moment, the wanderer has an epiphany. The noise he had been chasing all those years wasn't the problem. The true issue lay in his resistance to stillness. He had always believed that peace was something to be found outside of himself. But now, in the presence of silence, he discovers something profound. Peace wasn't something he needed to seek. It was something he simply needed to allow. In this moment, the wanderer realizes that the stillness he had feared was never his enemy. The stillness was his teacher. When he allowed himself to just be, to sit quietly in the silence, without trying to fill it with thoughts or distractions, the silence became a sanctuary. It became a safe space, a place of comfort and peace, a space where his mind could rest, a space where his soul could breathe. This is the first sign that your karma has been cleared, when silence, once a threat, becomes your companion. Karma, in its endless cycles, binds us to constant seeking, to the noise of the world, to the chatter in our minds. It creates restlessness, always urging us to fill the silence with something, anything. But when karma is cleared, the need for distraction fades away. The relentless pursuit of noise is no longer necessary. Instead, we find peace simply in being present, in sitting with ourselves, in resting within the stillness. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and slowly exhale. Can you feel the comfort of silence around you? Now, can you imagine for just a moment what it might be like to sit in that peaceful stillness, free from the urge to fill it with thoughts, distractions, or worries, to simply be without the need to do, to achieve, to solve? In this silence, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to seek peace or chase it down. You are already home, right here, right now. If you can feel this sense of calm, even if it's just for a brief moment, you're experiencing the first sign that your karma is beginning to clear. The shift is subtle but powerful. It's a feeling of settling into a quiet, still moment where you are not bound by the past, nor are you seeking anything from the future. You are simply existing in the present, and that is enough. But here's something important to remember. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual. The process of clearing karma is not a sudden flash. It's more like the gentle blooming of a flower unfolding slowly, one petal at a time. You may not feel this shift immediately, and that's okay. You don't need to rush it. There is no timeline for your growth, no race to reach enlightenment. However, as you continue on your path, you will begin to notice that moments of peace start to increase. These moments will grow longer, more frequent. Eventually, silence will feel like home. It will become familiar, comfortable, and even nurturing. You will find that the world around you, once chaotic and full of distractions, now feels softer, quieter, and more peaceful. The noise that once seemed so important will gradually fade into the background, and you'll find yourself embracing the silence more and more. The more you allow silence to be your friend, the deeper your peace will grow. You may find yourself sitting quietly more often, simply breathing, allowing the stillness to wash over you. In those moments, karma will have been cleared just a little bit more, and the peace within you will deepen just a little bit more. So I invite you, as we continue on this journey, to reflect on this first sign. When have you experienced those rare, peaceful moments in silence? What would it feel like to embrace those moments fully, without needing to fill them with noise, thoughts, or distractions? As you reflect on this, remember the peace you seek is not somewhere out there in the world. It's already within you, waiting to be uncovered. Silence is not something to fear. It is a sacred space where your true peace resides. You've only to sit with it, to allow it to fill you, and to let it guide you toward the stillness that has always been a part of you. And with that, we move on to the second sign, where we'll explore how the shift from reaction to observation marks a powerful step in the clearing of your karma. But for now, let this moment of peace linger in your heart, gently reminding you that silence, when embraced, becomes a place of great comfort, a place of great peace. As we continue our journey through the subtle signs of karma being cleared, we now arrive at the second transformative sign, the shift from reaction to observation. It might sound simple, but this shift is one of the most profound changes we can experience on our spiritual path. Imagine, if you will, the image of a calm river, its surface untouched by wind or disturbances. The water flows steadily, a constant presence undisturbed by anything around it. Now picture a stone being thrown into the river. What happens? The water ripples, disturbed momentarily by the stone, but then the ripples fade, and the river returns to its peaceful, steady state. This is how our emotional responses often behave, like ripples in a river. When life challenges us, when we face discomfort or adversity, our emotions can stir like those ripples. We react perhaps impulsively, perhaps with anger, fear, or frustration. But as karma clears, we start to notice a beautiful transformation. The ripples of our emotions settle more quickly, and our inner peace, like the river, returns more swiftly to its natural, steady state. This shift from being controlled by our reactions to calmly observing them is a powerful sign of spiritual growth. It's a moment of liberation when we no longer feel at the mercy of our emotions. Instead of reacting with intensity or urgency, we step back and observe what is unfolding within us and around us. Let's dive into a Zen story that perfectly illustrates this shift and how it marks a significant moment in the clearing of karma. Once early in the morning, a Zen monk was walking barefoot across the cold stones of a temple garden. The air was crisp, and his mind was quiet, fully rooted in the present moment. His thoughts were clear, like the stillness of the morning, as he moved through the sacred space. Suddenly, without warning, a traveler hurried by, distracted, and bumped into him. The monk was knocked to the ground, and dust settled on his robe. A bruise appeared on his knee. For a split second, the traveler panicked. His mind raced with apologies. "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to push you. Please forgive me." The monk, still sitting calmly on the ground, looked up at the traveler and smiled gently. He didn't react with anger or frustration. He didn't scold the traveler, or even show discomfort. Instead, with great composure and kindness, the monk replied, "You did not push me. Karma moved me, and I simply observed its movement." The traveler, taken aback, couldn't understand. How could the monk remain so composed, so unaffected by the bump, the fall, and the potential discomfort? Wasn't it human nature to react to such events, to feel pain, to express frustration? But the monk's response was simple, yet profound. he wasn't trying to avoid pain or discomfort. What he had learned over years of practice was that when something happens, when life presents an unexpected challenge, our first impulse is often to react, to feel anger, frustration, or disappointment. Yet he had trained himself to release that impulse, to allow the moment to unfold without attaching any emotional charge to it. The monk demonstrated the powerful practice of observing without reacting. He saw the situation, clearly acknowledged the moment, but allowed it to pass without being swept up by it. This is the second sign that your karma has been cleared, when you no longer feel the need to react to every situation that arises. Instead, you find yourself observing with calmness and clarity. The wanderer from our earlier story, who once reacted to the noise, the discomfort, and the chaos of the world, is now learning a similar lesson. He is discovering the power of observation. He no longer feels the need to control everything around him or push against the current of life. Instead, he is allowing life to unfold as it will, observing it without clinging to it, without reacting to it. This is precisely what the Zen monk demonstrated. The monk didn't cling to the pain of the fall. He didn't let the moment disturb his peace. Instead, he allowed the situation to unfold, observed it with clarity, and let it pass as all moments do. This shift from reaction to observation is not only about external events, it's about our inner world as well. How often do we react to our own thoughts, our memories, or the judgments that arise within us? How often do we react to our feelings, whether it's anxiety, anger, joy, or fear, without realizing that these too are just passing through? When karma is cleared, we no longer feel like slaves to our emotions or thoughts. Instead of identifying with them, we can observe them as they arise. We acknowledge their presence, but we don't get caught up in them. They no longer control us. Just as we observe the world around us, we learn to observe our inner world, the stream of thoughts, emotions, and sensations that come and go. Like clouds passing across the sky, thoughts and emotions rise, linger, and eventually fade. There's no need to grasp them, hold onto them, or allow them to define us. Take a moment now to reflect. When was the last time you felt the urge to react to something? Whether it was a situation outside of you or a thought inside your mind. Can you recall a time when instead of reacting, you simply allowed yourself to observe without judgment or emotional involvement? Imagine for a moment that the next time you encounter a challenging situation, you don't react immediately. Instead, you step back and observe. You watch with curiosity, with kindness. What would it be like to simply watch as if you were a calm observer, rather than getting swept up in the storm of emotions and reactions? Now let's try this together. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with peace, with calm. Hold it gently. And now, exhale slowly, releasing any tension or urges to react, to control, or to judge. In these quiet moments, you may begin to feel a subtle shift. This shift is the beginning of your transformation. It's the moment when the need to react starts to dissolve. When you observe, you step into your true power, the power of the witness. You are not defined by your reactions, but by your ability to observe them with clarity and peace. Like the Zen monk, you will begin to realize that you are not controlled by the situation at hand. You are not defined by the emotions that arise. You are the observer, the witness, the calm in the storm. You are at peace with the ebb and flow of life, and this peace allows you to remain grounded and centered no matter what comes your way. As karma clears, the mind becomes quieter. The urge to fight every emotion, to explain every behavior, or to win every argument begins to fade. Instead, You allow life to flow with grace. You observe, you learn, and you let go. No longer are you a prisoner of your thoughts and emotions. You are free to simply be. Take a moment now to reflect on this newfound awareness. How does it feel to observe rather than react? What shifts might happen in your life if you practiced this observation more often? Let the wisdom of this shift sink deep into your heart. The more you practice this shift from reaction to observation, the more you will experience the deep peace that comes with the clearing of karma. You will no longer be driven by the impulse to react to everything. You will find yourself responding with calmness, understanding, and clarity, and your mind will be free. As we continue on this journey, I invite you to explore this second sign in your everyday life. Practice observing instead of reacting and see how your inner peace grows. Over time, you will notice that your emotional responses soften. What once triggered anger or frustration might now pass through you without a second thought. The more you observe, the more freedom you will experience. And now, as we prepare to move on to the third sign, take a moment to sit with this new awareness. Feel the shift. Let it settle into your body, your mind, and your spirit. With each passing day, the ripples of your emotions will fade, and your inner peace will grow. As we journey deeper into the signs that your karma has been cleared, we now explore the third transformative sign, the end of old patterns. These are the emotional and behavioral loops that have kept you stuck in cycles of pain, fear, and frustration. Once your karma is cleared, these repetitive patterns which once defined your life no longer control you. The old wounds begin to heal, and the toxic dynamics that once seemed inevitable fade into the past. Imagine an old wound that refuses to heal. No matter how much you try to dress it, it keeps reopening, causing pain and discomfort. But as karma clears, that wound begins to heal on its own. The emotional scars that once resurfaced constantly begin to fade, and the repeated pain loses its grip. When karma clears, you stop attracting the same painful experiences. The unhealthy relationships, the emotional struggles, and the fears that once dominated your life no longer hold power over you. The patterns that once haunted you dissolve, making room for healthier dynamics and a more peaceful existence. Let's explore this profound transformation through the lens of a Zen story, one that beautifully illustrates how healing old patterns begins with self-awareness. There was once a woman who throughout her life had repeatedly experienced the same painful pattern in her relationships. Every time she opened her heart to love, it would end in abandonment. She felt rejected time and time again. Every new relationship seemed to end the same way, with emotional pain and feelings of unworthiness. As the years passed, she began to realize that these patterns were not just coincidences. They had become a familiar, painful cycle. She would meet someone new, feel hopeful, and then inevitably be abandoned. One evening, after yet another painful ending, she sat quietly in her room, feeling the weight of her sorrow. The familiar feeling of abandonment rose in her chest, and she wept. But this time something was different. Instead of blaming the other person, instead of falling into the familiar trap of victimhood, she took a moment to ask herself a new question. What in me creates this? For the first time, she didn't look outside herself for answers. She didn't place blame on the people who had come and gone. Instead, she turned inward. In the quiet of her tears, she began to realize that her own unresolved wounds, her own need for validation and love, were creating this cycle. She had unconsciously attracted relationships that mirrored the rejection she felt within herself. She took a deep breath, acknowledging this painful truth, and then with great courage, she began to forgive. She forgave herself for the choices she had made out of fear, and she forgave the people who had unintentionally played a role in her suffering. She let go of the belief that love had to be earned or fought for. The next morning, she lit a candle and silently spoke to the image of her mother, the woman whose presence had shaped her sense of worthiness. "I forgive you," she whispered. And in that moment, she felt a weight lift off her chest. No longer did she chase after love that mirrored her past abandonment. Instead, she embraced the love that was now available to her, love that was healthy, nurturing, and kind. Soon, new relationships entered her life, relationships that were grounded in mutual respect and understanding. These new connections weren't a repetition of old wounds. They were fresh, rooted in a new sense of self-worth and emotional balance. This story illustrates the third sign that your karma has been cleared when the old patterns of pain and fear no longer repeat themselves. Karma binds us to the past, and when unresolved, it creates a cycle in which we continually attract the same emotional experiences. We might find ourselves in the same types of relationships, facing the same emotional struggles, or experiencing the same setbacks again and again. But as karma clears, these patterns lose their grip. We stop attracting the same painful experiences because we no longer need to learn those lessons. We evolve beyond the need for those repetitive struggles. The lessons are learned, the patterns are broken, and we are free to create new, healthier experiences. The woman in the story stopped seeing herself as a victim of her past. She took responsibility for her emotional patterns and acknowledged the role she had played in attracting the same painful experiences. Through self-awareness, forgiveness, and letting go of the past, she was able to heal. This is how karma clears, by helping us recognize the unconscious patterns that hold us back, and by empowering us to break free from them. Take a moment now to reflect on your own life. Have you noticed any recurring patterns, whether in your relationships, your work, or your personal life? What emotional cycles have you found yourself trapped in time and time again? Ask yourself now in this quiet space, what in me creates this? This isn't about blaming yourself, nor is it about blaming others. It's about the awareness that to some degree we are responsible for the experiences we attract. When we understand this, we can stop repeating the patterns of the past. Karma clears when we take ownership of the emotional wounds we carry, and by doing so, we heal them. Imagine for a moment a life where those old patterns no longer have a hold on you. Imagine a life where you are no longer attracted to the same toxic relationships, the same cycles of pain. How would it feel to be free from the repeating emotional wounds of the past? How would it feel to create something entirely new, rooted in peace, self-love, and joy? Take a deep breath now. Feel your body soften as you release the weight of those old patterns. Inhale, exhale. As you breathe, feel the space opening up within you. Space for new experiences. Space for new, healthier patterns. As you embrace the wisdom of this moment, know that with each breath you are free to release the old and make room for the new. But remember, this shift doesn't always happen overnight. Karma is a gradual process, and the clearing of old patterns takes time. It takes patience, self-awareness, and compassion. You don't need to rush the process. Just as a flower doesn't bloom in a single moment, the clearing of karma happens gradually with each step you take. As you continue on this journey, allow yourself to observe the changes within you. Notice the moments when you feel free from the patterns of the past. Take note of the new experiences that begin to flow into your life, experiences that are grounded in love, respect, and balance. These are the signs that karma is clearing, and with it, the old wounds are healing. So as we continue, I invite you to reflect on this third sign. What would it feel like to stop attracting the same emotional patterns? What might your life look like if you could step into a new chapter, free from the emotional cycles of the past? Let this reflection sink deep within you, knowing that with each moment of awareness, you are clearing the karma that once kept you stuck. You are healing old wounds and making space for the love, peace, and joy that you deserve. As we move forward, let's embrace the next sign, where we explore the profound feeling of protection that comes when karma is cleared. But for now, sit with this moment of release. Feel the freedom of letting go of the past and the peace that comes with embracing the present. As we journey further into the profound signs that your karma has been cleared, we now explore the fourth transformative sign, a deep and almost mystical feeling of protection. This is not protection in the traditional sense of barriers or walls that keep harm at bay. Instead, this protection is subtle, yet incredibly powerful. It is the feeling of being cradled by the universe, guided by an unseen force, and supported by a divine energy that surrounds you even when you're unaware of it. It's as though the universe is watching over you, gently nudging you toward the right path at just the right time. This feeling of protection arises when karma is cleared. It's not about avoiding hardship, nor does it mean you will never face challenges again. Instead, it's the profound realization that even in moments of adversity, you are being held in the embrace of something far greater than yourself. When your karma is cleared, you come to recognize that divine timing is always at play, that the universe is unfolding exactly as it should, and you are perfectly aligned with your true purpose. Let's take a deeper look at this feeling through the telling of a beautiful Zen story, one that will help you see how this protection feels when karma is cleared. A young man, eager and full of energy, embarked on a journey through a dense forest. His heart was light, his mind clear. The forest seemed to welcome him, and he felt at peace with each step he took. The leaves rustled gently in the wind, and the cool air whispered through the trees. He felt deeply connected to the natural world, and everything around him seemed calm, perfect, and in harmony. But as he wandered deeper into the forest, he unknowingly veered closer to a hidden danger. Just off the path, a snake lay coiled, waiting. The young man, absorbed in the beauty of the forest and his own thoughts, was unaware of the threat before him. He took another step, and his foot hovered above the snake's resting place. At that moment, a strong gust of wind swept through the trees, pushing the young man off his course. He stumbled, falling gently to the ground, and when he looked up, the snake had disappeared. For a moment, the young man was confused. He didn't know what had just happened. He had been so close to the snake. How had he avoided danger? Why had he been knocked off course at just the right moment? He sat in silence, reflecting on the strange series of events. In that moment, a deep sense of peace washed over him. He realized that he hadn't just been lucky. Something had intervened. He had been protected, but not by his own actions, nor by any force he could see. It was something unseen, something beyond his understanding. It was as if the universe itself had guided him, nudging him away from harm at just the right moment. The young man smiled softly, his confusion giving way to a quiet knowing. He was no longer afraid. He understood in that moment that he had been divinely protected, not by any external force, but by an alignment with the greater flow of life. He was guided by something much greater than himself. This story beautifully illustrates the fourth sign, that your karma has been cleared, the feeling of being protected. When karma is cleared, we stop feeling at the mercy of life's uncertainties. we begin to feel supported, guided, and held even in the midst of challenges. This protection doesn't mean life becomes easy, nor does it mean we will never face hardship. Rather, it's a deep internal sense of safety. We know that no matter what happens, we are not alone. The universe is always working in our favor, even when we cannot see the path ahead. When karma is cleared, this sense of protection becomes more and more apparent. The more you trust in the flow of life, the more you begin to notice the synchronicities, the seemingly miraculous events, the perfect timing that seems to show up just when you need it most. Life begins to feel like it's unfolding with purpose, and even in the midst of challenges, you know you are being guided through them. Now take a moment to reflect on your own life. Can you think of a time when you felt protected, even when it didn't make sense? Perhaps it was a moment when everything seemed to fall into place just when you needed it. Or maybe it was a time when you avoided a danger, a mistake, or a negative experience without even realizing it at the time. Think about a time when you felt something greater than yourself, guiding you, holding you, and protecting you. Perhaps it was a moment of clarity, a gentle nudge from the universe, or a seemingly random event that brought you to safety or peace. Take a deep breath now. Feel the air filling your lungs, filling your body with peace, calm, and trust. Exhale slowly, releasing any tension, fear, or doubt. Can you feel the protection that surrounds you now? It is not a protection that keeps you from experiencing life's challenges, but a quiet assurance that no matter what comes, you are not alone. You are being guided, supported, and protected in ways that go beyond your understanding. This feeling of protection is subtle, yet incredibly powerful. It's the knowing that you are in the right place at the right time, and that even when things don't go according to plan, everything is unfolding perfectly for you. You don't need to fight against the current. You don't need to struggle. When karma clears, you begin to trust that the universe has your back. The protection you feel is not about avoiding difficulty. It's about knowing that even in the midst of challenges, you are supported and held. Take a moment now to think about what it would feel like to live with this trust, with this sense of divine protection. What would it be like to walk through life with the quiet knowledge that no matter what happens, you are safe, supported, and guided by something much greater than yourself? Imagine that every step you take, every decision you make, is part of a larger divine plan. You are not alone on this journey. The universe is always supporting you, guiding you toward your highest good, even when the path seems unclear. Take a deep breath in, filling your body with this sense of trust and protection. As you exhale, let go of any doubts, fears, or uncertainties, knowing that you are divinely protected even in the moments when you cannot see the way ahead. As we move forward into the next sign, I invite you to carry this feeling of protection with you. Reflect on the times when you felt divinely guided and trust that this feeling of support is always with you. The more you align with this sense of protection, the more you will experience it in your life. Remember, protection does not mean you won't face challenges. It means you are never facing them alone. It means the universe is guiding you through every challenge, ensuring that you have everything you need to navigate life's ups and downs. Let this reflection sink deep into your being. Feel the safety and support that surround you, and trust that the universe is always working in your favor. You are safe. You are protected. You are guided. With that, we move on to the fifth sign, where we'll explore how the energy of peace within you begins to mirror in the world around you. But for now, let this sense of protection linger in your heart, reminding you that you are never alone. As we journey further into the profound signs that your karma has been cleared, we now explore the fourth transformative sign, a deep and almost mystical feeling of protection. This is not protection in the traditional sense of barriers or walls that keep harm at bay. Instead, this protection is subtle, yet incredibly powerful. It is the feeling of being cradled by the universe, guided by an unseen force, and supported by a divine energy that surrounds you even when you're unaware of it. It's as though the universe is watching over you, gently nudging you toward the right path at just the right time. This feeling of protection arises when karma is cleared. It's not about avoiding hardship, nor does it mean you will never face challenges again. Instead, it's the profound realization that even in moments of adversity, you are being held in the embrace of something far greater than yourself. When your karma is cleared, you come to recognize that divine timing is always at play, that the universe is unfolding exactly as it should, and you are perfectly aligned with your true purpose. Let's take a deeper look at this feeling through the telling of a beautiful Zen story, one that will help you see how this protection feels when karma is cleared. A young man, eager and full of energy, embarked on a journey through a dense forest. His heart was light, his mind clear. The forest seemed to welcome him, and he felt at peace with each step he took. The leaves rustled gently in the wind, and the cool air whispered through the trees. He felt deeply connected to the natural world, and everything around him seemed calm, perfect, and in harmony. But as he wandered deeper into the forest, he unknowingly veered closer to a hidden danger. Just off the path, a snake lay coiled, waiting. The young man, absorbed in the beauty of the forest and his own thoughts, was unaware of the threat before him. He took another step, and his foot hovered above the snake's resting place. At that moment, a strong gust of wind swept through the trees, pushing the young man off his course. He stumbled, falling gently to the ground, and when he looked up, the snake had disappeared. For a moment, the young man was confused. He didn't know what had just happened. He had been so close to the snake. How had he avoided danger? Why had he been knocked off course at just the right moment? He sat in silence, reflecting on the strange series of events. In that moment, a deep sense of peace washed over him. He realized that he hadn't just been lucky. Something had intervened. He had been protected, but not by his own actions nor by any force he could see. It was something unseen, something beyond his understanding. It was as if the universe itself had guided him, nudging him away from harm at just the right moment. The young man smiled softly, his confusion giving way to a quiet knowing. He was no longer afraid. He understood in that moment that he had been divinely protected, not by any external force, but by an alignment with the greater flow of life. He was guided by something much greater than himself. This story beautifully illustrates the fourth sign that your karma has been cleared, the feeling of being protected. When karma is cleared, we stop feeling at the mercy of life's uncertainties. We begin to feel supported, guided, and held even in the midst of challenges. This protection doesn't mean life becomes easy, nor does it mean we will never face hardship. Rather, it's a deep internal sense of safety. We know that no matter what happens, we are not alone. The universe is always working in our favor, even when we cannot see the path ahead. When karma is cleared, this sense of protection becomes more and more apparent. The more you trust in the flow of life, the more you begin to notice the synchronicities, the seemingly miraculous events, the perfect timing that seems to show up just when you need it most. Life begins to feel like it's unfolding with purpose, and even in the midst of challenges, you know you are being guided through them. Now take a moment to reflect on your own life. Can you think of a time when you felt protected, even when it didn't make sense? Perhaps it was a moment when everything seemed to fall into place just when you needed it. Or maybe it was a time when you avoided a danger, a mistake, or a negative experience without even realizing it at the time. Think about a time when you felt something greater than yourself, guiding you, holding you, and protecting you. Perhaps it was a moment of clarity, a gentle nudge from the universe, or a seemingly random event that brought you to safety or peace. Take a deep breath now. Feel the air filling your lungs, filling your body with peace, calm, and trust. Exhale slowly, releasing any tension, fear, or doubt. Can you feel the protection that surrounds you now? It is not a protection that keeps you from experiencing life's challenges, but a quiet assurance that no matter what comes, you are not alone. You are being guided, supported, and protected in ways that go beyond your understanding. This feeling of protection is subtle, yet incredibly powerful. It's the knowing that you are in the right place at the right time, and that even when things don't go according to plan, everything is unfolding perfectly for you. You don't need to fight against the current. You don't need to struggle. When karma clears, you begin to trust that the universe has your back. The protection you feel is not about avoiding difficulty. It's about knowing that even in the midst of challenges, you are supported and held. Take a moment now to think about what it would feel like to live with this trust, with this sense of divine protection. What would it be like to walk through life with the quiet knowledge that no matter what happens, you are safe, supported, and guided by something much greater than yourself? Imagine that every step you take, every decision you make, is part of a larger divine plan. You are not alone on this journey. The universe is always supporting you, guiding you toward your highest good, even when the path seems unclear. Take a deep breath in, filling your body with this sense of trust and protection. As you exhale, let go of any doubts, fears, or uncertainties, knowing that you are divinely protected, even in the moments when you cannot see the way ahead. As we move forward into the next sign, I invite you to carry this feeling of protection with you. Reflect on the times when you've felt divinely guided, and trust that this feeling of support is always with you. The more you align with this sense of protection, the more you will experience it in your life. Remember, protection does not mean you won't face challenges. It means you are never facing them alone. It means the universe is guiding you through every challenge, ensuring that you have everything you need to navigate life's ups and downs. Let this reflection sink deep into your being. Feel the safety and support that surround you, and trust that the universe is always working in your favor. You are safe. You are protected. You are guided. With that, we move on to the fifth sign, where we'll explore how the energy of peace within you begins to mirror in the world around you. But for now, let this sense of protection linger in your heart, reminding you that you are never alone. You are. As we continue to uncover the transformative signs that indicate your karma has been cleared, we now come to the fifth sign. The profound shift when your inner peace begins to radiate outward and others start to mirror the calm you have cultivated within yourself. This is not an external change or effort to control others. Rather, it is an internal transformation that begins to impact the world around you. The way you feel and react to the world begins to change, and the energy you carry influences those around you in ways that might surprise you. Imagine a garden tended to with care and attention. The gardener works quietly, moving slowly and deliberately through the space. His hands are steady, his heart calm. The plants around him thrive in the peaceful energy he brings. But it's not just the plants that feel the effects. As people pass by the garden, many of them pause. Some may linger for a few moments, taking in the beauty. Others might simply stop, take a deep breath, and feel the weight of the world ease off their shoulders. The energy of peace that the gardener carries begins to affect everyone who comes into contact with him. It's subtle, not forceful. There is no need to speak or try to convince others of anything. The energy is simply felt. And in this energy, people who were once hurried and stressed begin to soften, allowing the calmness to settle into their own being. One day, a man tired and worn by the struggles of life approached the gardener and asked, "Why do I feel so much lighter when I'm near you? What is it about your presence that calms me?" The gardener didn't answer immediately. He continued his work, his actions speaking louder than any words could. His calm energy was enough to create a profound effect. The peace he had cultivated within himself was now flowing outward, offering a moment of respite to those around him. This is the fifth sign that your karma has been cleared. When your inner peace begins to reflect outwardly, and others begin to mirror your calmness. When karma clears, you stop absorbing the chaos and negativity of the world around you. Instead, you become a beacon of tranquility, a steady presence in an otherwise tumultuous world. As you work through the process of clearing karma, you release old emotional patterns that caused you to react, become defensive, or allow external chaos to dictate your inner state. Instead of absorbing the emotional turbulence around you, you start to remain grounded in your own peace, and in turn, that peace radiates out. Others start to sense your calmness without you needing to say a word. They might find themselves naturally drawn to your energy, feeling lighter and more at ease in your presence. Your inner peace becomes a living testament to the transformative power of karma clearing. This transformation is subtle, yet it has a profound effect. It's not about trying to control others or change their behavior. Rather, it's about being in a space where you can be fully at peace with yourself. When you achieve that inner peace, it will naturally influence those around you. You become a source of calm, and even the most chaotic situations will begin to feel more manageable. People around you may find themselves softening, reacting with more kindness, and feeling less triggered by external stressors. Let's take a moment to reflect on how you might experience this change in your own life. Can you recall a time when you were near someone whose presence brought you peace without them saying a word? Perhaps there was a person who simply by being present made you feel calmer, more centered, and more at ease. Think about what it was about their energy that made you feel this way. What was it that caused you to feel a shift in your emotional state just by being in their presence? Take a deep breath now. As you inhale, feel the sense of peace inside you growing, expanding with each breath. Exhale and let go of any tension, anxiety, or stress that you might still be holding. Let this peace, which has always been within you, begin to radiate outward. With each breath, imagine that you are becoming a vessel of calm, your energy flowing out into the world. Feel that peace growing stronger, more expansive, and more constant. The more you allow this inner peace to grow, the more it will affect those around you. You will become a living presence of tranquility, offering a moment of stillness in a world that often feels chaotic. This shift doesn't require effort or force. Just as the gardener didn't need to do anything special to affect those around him, you don't need to try to control or manipulate the energy of others. your peace will be felt simply by existing in your truth. As karma clears, your inner world becomes clearer and more stable. You stop reacting to the chaos around you, and instead you become a grounded presence that helps others feel centered as well. You don't need to try. Your peace is contagious. As you release old patterns of reaction, defensiveness, and tension, you create space for a more profound level of peace within yourself. You become attuned to the present moment, not caught up in the past or worried about the future. In this space, you are free to be who you truly are, without the need for validation or external approval. This freedom is reflected in the way others interact with you, and they too begin to mirror your inner peace. Now let's pause and reflect on how this peace manifests in your daily life. Think about how your own energy impacts the people around you. When you are calm and centered, how do your interactions with others shift? Do you find that those who are stressed or upset begin to soften in your presence? How might your inner peace affect your relationships, your work, and your overall sense of well-being? Take a moment to imagine a life where your inner peace is unwavering, no matter what challenges arise. What would it feel like to walk through life knowing that your energy is a source of calm, healing, and understanding? What would it be like to know that your inner peace creates a ripple effect, bringing harmony to those you encounter? Take a deep breath now and let the feeling of peace flow through you. With each breath, feel the calmness within you. Deepen, knowing that the more you nurture this peace, the more it will radiate into the world. As we move toward the next sign, I encourage you to continue cultivating this inner peace. Embrace the knowledge that your peace is not just for your own benefit, it is for the benefit of everyone around you. By nurturing this peace, you help heal the world one small interaction at a time. The more you embody this calm energy, the more it will transform your life and the lives of those you encounter. With that, we now prepare to explore the sixth sign, where we will dive into how the release of attachment brings a powerful sense of freedom. But for now, sit with this moment of peace, knowing that every step you take toward greater inner peace also contributes to the peace of the world around you. As we continue our journey through the signs of karma's clearing, we now explore the sixth sign, when you reach a state where you desire nothing, yet everything begins to come to you effortlessly. This is the paradox of spiritual freedom. When you release the need for anything, you open yourself to receive everything you need. When karma is cleared, your attachment to desires, outcomes, and expectations dissolves. The more you let go, the more life naturally brings to you. This is a deeply transformative experience, one that can only be understood through personal experience. But let's take a moment to reflect on what it means to live in a state of effortless receiving. What does it mean to move through life without the constant pull of desire, yet find that everything you need flows to you? Let's illustrate this with a Zen story that perfectly encapsulates this powerful shift. Once, there was a wise old monk who lived in a remote temple at the top of a mountain. He had few possessions and lived a simple life, devoting himself to his spiritual practice. The villagers who lived at the foot of the mountain often admired the monk's peaceful life, but they were puzzled by one thing. He seemed to lack nothing, yet he didn't ask for anything. He never seemed to make any effort to obtain anything, yet his needs were always met. One day, a young traveler curious about the monk's way of life decided to visit the temple. The traveler had heard stories of the monk's wisdom and wanted to understand how he lived so effortlessly. After a long and challenging climb, The traveler finally reached the temple and found the monk sitting quietly in the garden, surrounded by a sense of calm that seemed almost otherworldly. The traveler asked, "Master, I've been told that you have no desires, but how is that possible? How can you live without wanting anything? Don't you need food, shelter, or even companionship?" The monk smiled gently and replied, "I do not desire, but I do not lack. I have everything I need because I have let go of the need to control or to chase. When I stopped wanting, life began to give me exactly what I needed. I am in harmony with the world around me. What I need comes to me effortlessly, like the rain that falls when the clouds are full." The traveler, still puzzled, asked, "But how do you know what you need?" The monk paused for a moment and then replied, "I don't need to know. I simply trust. When you release attachment to your desires, you make space for life to bring you what you need. It's not a matter of searching or striving, it's a matter of surrendering. When you no longer chase, you allow life to find you." This story beautifully illustrates the sixth sign that your karma has been cleared when you desire nothing yet receive everything. Karma binds us to constant striving and seeking, whether it's for material possession, status, or approval. When we are caught in the cycle of wanting, we are never satisfied, always seeking something more, something better, something different. But when karma is cleared, we release that need to strive, to want, and to control. In doing so, we open ourselves to a life that flows naturally, bringing us exactly what we need without effort. The monk's words, "I have everything I need because I have let go of the need to control or chase," are a profound reminder that the universe is constantly working in our favor. When we release the grasp of desire, we align with the natural flow of life, and everything we need begins to appear effortlessly. This is the essence of spiritual freedom, letting go of attachment and allowing life to bring us the blessings it has in store. Now let's reflect on your own life. When was the last time you felt the urge to chase after something, whether it was a material possession, a goal, or even the approval of others? Have you ever found that the more you chased something, the more elusive it became? And conversely, have you experienced a moment when you let go of something, whether it was a goal, a relationship, or an expectation, and found that it came to you effortlessly? Take a moment now to reflect on the difference between chasing and allowing. When you stop chasing, what space does that create in your life? What happens when you release the need to control, to have, or to achieve, and simply allow things to unfold naturally? Take a deep breath now, and as you inhale, imagine that you are letting go of all the things you've been holding on to. With every breath, release the need to control, to chase, or to force. And as you exhale, feel the space that is created within you, the space where everything you need can enter freely. When karma clears the attachment to desires, loosens its grip, you begin to trust the flow of life, understanding that everything you need will come to you when the time is right. You no longer feel the need to search, to strive, or to accumulate. You simply live in harmony with the present moment, and that is enough. The peace that comes with releasing attachment is liberating. It allows you to live fully in the now, free from the constant pressure to get or achieve. You begin to see the beauty in simplicity, and you find that life provides for you in ways you never imagined. Imagine for a moment living a life where you don't need anything to be complete. What would it feel like to release the desire to have more, to constantly strive for the next thing? How would it feel to be satisfied with what is already here, knowing that everything you need is already within reach? Take a deep breath in, Let it fill you with a sense of abundance, not the abundance of possessions, but the abundance of peace, contentment, and trust in the flow of life. And exhale slowly, releasing any lingering desire or attachment. As you continue to breathe, imagine your life becoming lighter, freer. You are no longer weighed down by the need to chase after things. Instead, you are at peace, knowing that everything you need will come to you effortlessly, like the gentle breeze that carries the scent of flowers through the air. So as we continue this journey, I invite you to reflect on this sixth sign of karma clearing. What would it feel like to desire nothing, yet receive everything? What would your life look like if you could release the constant need for more and simply trust that everything you need is already on its way to you? Let this reflection settle into your heart. Feel the freedom that comes with letting go. In every moment, you are free to release attachment and allow life to bring you exactly what you need. When you trust in the natural flow, you begin to realize that there is nothing you need to chase, nothing you need to control. Everything is unfolding perfectly, exactly as it should. Now, as we prepare to explore the next sign, where we will see how letting go of pain and loss leads to deeper wisdom, let this moment of release sink deep within you. Feel the freedom that comes with letting go of the need to want and trust that life is always providing you with everything you need. As we continue our journey through the transformative signs that indicate your karma has been cleared, we now explore the seventh and final sign, the profound shift in how you relate to pain and loss. When karma clears, pain and loss are no longer seen as burdens or enemies. Instead, they become teachers guiding you toward deeper understanding, greater compassion, and a richer life. This shift is one of the most profound, as it changes the way you view not only the world, but your very place in it. Instead of resisting or avoiding pain, you begin to embrace it as a natural part of life, one that carries wisdom and opportunities for growth. The painful experiences that once seemed like setbacks now serve as stepping stones toward your evolution. As karma clears, you discover how to find gratitude, even in the most difficult times. You come to see pain not as something to escape, but as a doorway to deeper wisdom and self-awareness. Let's dive into this powerful transformation through a Zen story which beautifully illustrates how pain and loss can be transformed into gratitude and insight. A Zen master once shared with his students the nature of suffering and loss. He told them the story of a man who had lived his life avoiding pain. He sought only happiness, comfort, and pleasure, doing everything he could to avoid hardship. The man worked hard to build a life that was free from difficulty, seeking out safety, security, and joy at all costs. One day, however, the man's wife passed away. His world was turned upside down. The grief was overwhelming, and for the first time the man found himself in deep sorrow. He went to a wise elder, hoping to find comfort. The elder listened patiently to the man's grief and sorrow. After a long silence, the elder spoke. "You have spent your life avoiding pain, yet now you are facing it. And in facing it, you will find something precious. The key is not to avoid pain, but to allow yourself to feel it fully. For it is only through pain that we learn the depth of love, the importance of compassion, and the fleeting nature of life. Without pain, there would be no growth. Without loss, there would be no appreciation for what we have." The man, still grieving, sat with the elder's words. Over time, as he allowed himself to feel the pain, to grieve without resistance, he began to see the wisdom in the elder's teaching. He realized that his grief was not a punishment, but a natural part of life's flow. He stopped resisting the pain and began to embrace it as part of his human experience. Gradually, he discovered that in the depths of his sorrow, there was also a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the love he had shared with his wife, for the moments they had shared together, and for the life they had built. His pain became a doorway to greater appreciation and deeper wisdom. This story illustrates the seventh sign that your karma has been cleared when you begin to feel gratitude for pain and loss. Karma binds us to resistance, to the resistance of suffering, to the desire to avoid hardship, and to the refusal to embrace the full range of human emotions. But when karma is cleared, we no longer view pain as a burden. Instead, we come to understand that it is an integral part of our journey. Pain and loss, when approached with openness, lead us to deeper wisdom, compassion, and understanding. When karma clears, we no longer fear pain. We no longer view suffering as something to avoid at all costs. Instead, we welcome it as a teacher, knowing that it will bring us closer to our true selves and to the greater truth of the world. In this shift, we stop resisting the inevitable challenges that life brings. Instead, we accept them with grace, knowing that through these experiences, we are growing. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. When have you faced pain or loss that in time led you to a deeper understanding or greater compassion? Can you think of a moment when suffering became the catalyst for personal growth, when the pain itself became a doorway to wisdom? Allow yourself to sit with these thoughts, acknowledging how pain, though difficult, has shaped you into who you are today. Think about the times when loss helped you appreciate what you have. Take a deep breath in. Feel the air filling your lungs with peace, with calm. Now exhale slowly, releasing any resistance to the pain or sorrow you may have felt in the past. In these quiet moments, reflect on how you have transformed through the challenges you have faced. How has the pain of the past shaped your wisdom? What lessons has it brought you? This shift in perception, where pain and loss become opportunities for growth, may not be instantaneous. Karma clears gradually, and with it, our ability to view life's challenges with clarity and grace. The more we practice embracing our pain, the more we are able to see it as a powerful force for transformation. We learn that pain is not an enemy, but a teacher guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. When karma clears, we begin to recognize that every experience, even the painful ones, is an opportunity for growth. The more we let go of our resistance to suffering, the more we begin to see how pain can lead to deeper joy, deeper peace, and a greater capacity for love and compassion. We come to understand that loss is a part of life, and with it comes the wisdom to appreciate the beauty of each moment. Now take another deep breath, and as you inhale, feel gratitude for the lessons that have come from your pain. With each exhale, release any lingering fear of loss, knowing that it is part of the natural ebb and flow of life. Feel the peace that comes with accepting the full spectrum of life's experiences, both the joy and the sorrow. As we move forward, I invite you to continue reflecting on this shift in perception. What would it feel like to embrace pain and loss as part of your journey? How would it feel to let go of the need to avoid suffering and instead see it as an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding? Let this reflection sink deeply into your heart. The more you embrace life's challenges with gratitude, the more you will transform them into stepping stones on your spiritual path. As we transition into the next sign, where we will explore how letting go of attachment leads to a sense of freedom, let this moment of reflection deepen within you. Feel the wisdom of this teaching settle into your being, knowing that you are no longer defined by your pain or your losses. Instead, you are defined by how you move through them with grace, understanding, and gratitude. With that, let us continue this journey, knowing that every step of growth brings us closer to the peace and freedom we are meant to experience. Living beyond karma is about continuing to live freely from the internal freedom that karma clearing offers. We have cleared away old emotional burdens, attachments, and patterns, but maintaining that freedom requires continual mindfulness, intention, and practice. Freedom isn't a one-time achievement. It's an ongoing commitment to living aligned with your true self. It's about staying free from past conditioning attachments and the emotional reactions that once dictated your life. To live beyond karma is to move through life with grace, without the constant pull of past experiences or future expectations. The journey toward maintaining this freedom involves continually recentering ourselves, returning to practices that support our spiritual growth. The first realization in this process is understanding that freedom does not mean the absence of struggle. Living beyond karma doesn't mean we are exempt from life's challenges. In fact, freedom is not about avoiding difficulty, but about the ability to approach these challenges with a calm and clear mind without being overwhelmed or consumed by them. When we are free, we are able to face adversity without being attached to the outcome. The struggles that arise in life no longer define us or determine our emotional state. Instead, they become opportunities to practice non-attachment patience and resilience. One of the core practices that helps us maintain this freedom is non-attachment. Non-attachment means releasing our attachment to outcomes, to people, and to material things. It's a powerful spiritual practice that allows us to live freely in the moment, without the constant need for external validation or control. When we're attached to something, whether it's a possession, a person, or a specific outcome, we give away our emotional stability. Our happiness becomes dependent on external circumstances, and when those circumstances shift, so do we. However, when we release attachment, we regain control over our internal world. We are no longer dependent on outside influences to dictate how we feel. Non-attachment doesn't mean we stop desiring or caring about things. Rather, it's about enjoying life's pleasures without clinging to them and facing life's challenges without fear of them. By practicing non-attachment, we allow life to unfold naturally without forcing or manipulating the outcome. Zen masters often speak of the importance of letting go. This letting go is not about neglecting our responsibilities or abandoning our goals. It's about surrendering the need to control the outcome. We stop struggling against the flow of life and start trusting it. When we let go of attachment, we begin to trust that life will bring us exactly what we need in the right moment. This is the beauty of non-attachment. When we release the grip on outcomes, we open ourselves to life's possibilities with full acceptance and peace. And to maintain the freedom we've gained through karma clearing, we need to practice mindfulness and awareness every day. Grounding ourselves in the present moment and releasing the weight of past experiences are essential for preserving inner peace. Through daily mindful practices, we continue to align with the flow of life and sustain our freedom. Let's explore the key practices that support this continued freedom. Meditation is an essential practice in maintaining inner peace. Through meditation, we reconnect with our true selves and observe our thoughts without attachment. Each moment of stillness helps us remain centered and clear-free from reactive patterns that may arise from past karma. With meditation, we can observe when old patterns of attachment or reaction resurface, and we can address them with awareness instead of simply reacting. Mindful breathing, is another powerful tool. It's simple, yet effective. Whenever life feels overwhelming or we feel ourselves slipping back into old, automatic reactions, mindful breathing helps bring us back to the present moment. Deep, slow breaths reset our emotional state and bring us back to a place of clarity and calm. Taking time throughout the day for mindful breathing can create a steady grounding rhythm, reminding us to release tension and remain present. Self-awareness is key to maintaining freedom. When we become conscious of our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we give ourselves the power to act from a place of clarity rather than reacting from conditioned patterns. The more we practice self-awareness, the more we can break free from old habits and embrace new ways of being. Observing our inner world without judgment enables us to choose how we respond to life's challenges rather than being controlled by them. Compassionate living is another practice that supports freedom. Compassion toward ourselves and others is essential for releasing past karma and embracing life's flow. When we clear our karma, we often face painful truths and emotional wounds. Compassion allows us to approach these moments with love and understanding, helping us heal and stay free from judgment and attachment. By practicing compassion, we also break free from the need to hold on to anger, resentment, or fear, allowing our hearts to remain open and free. At the heart of living beyond karma is the freedom of non-attachment. To live truly free, we must embrace this principle, which allows us to fully enjoy the present moment without clinging to past desires or future expectations. Attachment keeps us bound to external conditions. Our happiness, our sense of security, and our peace are all dependent on things outside ourselves. But when we practice non-attachment, we release these dependencies and reclaim our inner peace. Non-attachment is not about disconnecting from life's pleasures or avoiding relationships. It's about not being dependent on them for our happiness. When we let go of attachment, we create space to experience life in its fullness without the constant pressure to control outcomes. We stop measuring our happiness against what we have or don't have, and we begin to appreciate life as it is. In this space of acceptance, we can fully experience joy and sorrow alike, knowing that both are fleeting and part of the same beautiful experience. Think about a time when you were attached to an outcome, perhaps a goal, a person, or a particular situation. Did that attachment cause frustration or anxiety when things didn't turn out as you expected? Now, imagine living without that attachment. Picture the peace that comes from simply accepting life as it is, trusting that whatever unfolds is exactly what you need. This is the essence of living beyond karma. Living beyond karma requires a deep sense of trust and surrender. Trust that the universe is unfolding as it should, even when the path is unclear. Surrender is not about giving up. It's about releasing the need to control the outcome. When karma clears, we stop trying to force things into place. Instead, we trust that everything is happening in divine timing. We surrender to life, knowing that we are being guided toward our highest good. Trusting in life's process requires faith. Faith that even in moments of hardship, there is a lesson, a deeper understanding waiting to be revealed. It's the faith that we are exactly where we need to be, and that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. When we trust and surrender, we free ourselves from the need to resist life's flow, and we can live fully in the moment. Living beyond karma is ultimately about freedom of being, knowing that you are not bound by the past, nor are you defined by your experiences or reactions. True freedom is the realization that you are not the sum of your past actions or external circumstances. You are free to live in alignment with your authentic self without being held back by old patterns or the weight of past karma. Freedom doesn't mean avoiding discomfort or struggle. It means navigating life with ease even when difficulties arise. When karma clears, you can face life's challenges with an open heart and a clear mind. You no longer need to defend yourself, prove your worth, or chase after approval. You can simply be who you are, and that is enough. This freedom comes from letting go of what no longer serves you and making space for your true self to emerge. Take a moment to reflect on what freedom beyond karma looks like for you. What would it feel like to live without attachment, to let go of the need to control or seek approval from others? How would your life change if you fully trusted the flow of life, surrendered to its process, and embraced every experience as an opportunity for growth? Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with trust and surrender. Exhale slowly, releasing any remaining attachments, fears, or doubts. Feel yourself becoming lighter, freer, with every breath moving toward a state of pure freedom. As we move into the next chapter of this journey, let the understanding of freedom deepen within you. The more you practice living beyond karma, the more you will experience the peace that comes with it. You are free to be your true self, free from the past, and free to create a life aligned with your highest truth. Now let's continue on this journey of releasing attachment, knowing that with each step, we are closer to experiencing the freedom we have always sought. As we arrive at the conclusion of this profound journey through the signs of karma clearing, we are left with a powerful realization. The path to inner peace is not a fixed destination, but an ongoing journey. It is a continuous process of growth, awareness, and transformation that unfolds with each passing day. The more we clear our karma, the deeper we enter the present moment, the place where peace has always been waiting for us to embrace. The essence of karma clearing is not about escaping life's struggles or avoiding pain. It is about learning to approach life's challenges with clarity, grace, and wisdom. The goal is not to fight against life, but to navigate its inevitable ups and downs with an open heart and mind. When karma is cleared, we realize that peace is not something to be found outside ourselves, nor is it something we need to chase. Peace is already within us, ready to be recognized and experienced in every moment. On this journey, you discover that freedom doesn't come from running away from difficulty. Instead, true freedom comes when we stop resisting the natural flow of life. It arises when we release our attachment to specific outcomes and stop holding on to the past. When karma clears, we no longer feel bound by old patterns or conditioned emotional responses. Instead, we become free to live in alignment with our true self. We stop chasing after external validation and material success. We begin to trust in the unfolding of life, knowing that whatever we need will come to us in perfect timing. This freedom brings with it a profound peace, a peace that is grounded in the present moment. It is a peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances. It is a peace that grows from within, nurtured by the practices of mindfulness, non-attachment, and compassion. It is a peace that comes from releasing the grip of the past and trusting that life is unfolding in the way that it is meant to. Throughout this journey, we have learned that karma clearing is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process that requires continual mindfulness, self-awareness, and dedication. The more we clear our karma, the more we shed old emotional wounds, limiting beliefs and patterns that no longer serve us. With each layer that we release, we make more space for peace, for wisdom, and for a deeper connection with our true selves. As you reflect on this journey, I encourage you to remember that karma clearing is not something that happens all at once. It is a gradual process, one that unfolds with patience, self-compassion, and consistent practice. It is a journey that requires you to face the challenges and struggles that life presents, but to do so with a peaceful heart. There will be moments of difficulty, moments when it feels like the path ahead is unclear. But even in those moments, you are not lost. The more you trust in the process, the more you will discover that each experience, whether joyful or painful, is an opportunity for growth. Living beyond karma means letting go of old attachments, old fears, and the need to control life. It means being present in every moment, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. And when you let go of the need to hold on to anything, you open yourself up to receive all that life has to offer. Everything you need will come to you effortlessly, as if the universe itself is guiding you toward your highest good. This freedom is not about avoiding struggle or discomfort. It's about living with the understanding that life's challenges are an inevitable part of the human experience. When karma clears, we learn to move through these challenges without being overwhelmed by them. We develop the ability to face difficulties with grace, understanding, and equanimity. We realize that no matter what happens, we are always held in the embrace of life. We are always guided by an unseen force, and we are never alone on this journey. So as we reflect on the journey we've taken together, let's take a moment to acknowledge the incredible wisdom that has been shared. The wisdom that has been cultivated through clearing karma. The wisdom that tells us that peace is not something to chase, but something to allow. The wisdom that reminds us that the more we let go, the more we receive. The wisdom that invites us to live fully in the present, free from the past and open to the future. Take a moment now to breathe deeply. Feel the peace that is already within you. Feel it filling every corner of your being, softening your heart and releasing any remaining tension or fear. As you inhale, breathe in trust, knowing that life is unfolding in perfect alignment with your highest good. As you exhale, let go of any lingering attachments, any fears, or any doubts. You are free. You are safe. You are exactly where you need to be. The journey to inner peace is ongoing. It is a lifelong process of growth, practice, and self-discovery. The more you clear your karma, the more you will experience the freedom and peace that comes from living in alignment with your true self. You will continue to face life's challenges, but you will do so with a heart full of trust, with a mind grounded in clarity, and with a spirit that is free from the weight of the past. As you move forward, remember that the peace you seek is already within you. It is not something to find or achieve. It is something to recognize, something to embrace, something to nurture. With each breath, with each step, you are drawing closer to the peace that is your birthright. The journey doesn't end here. It continues one step at a time as you embrace each moment, trust the unfolding of life, and live fully in the freedom of being. The peace you seek is not outside of you. It is within you always. Let this truth sink deeply into your heart. Let it guide you on the next leg of your journey. With each moment of release, each moment of surrender, you are one step closer to the inner peace that is always there waiting for you to claim. Thank you for walking this path with me. May you continue to move through life with clarity, freedom, and peace.